So good morning, we're back out on the adventure trail, the sun's out, and I'm looking forward to getting out exploring once again. And yes, I'm wearing the same clothes as last time. What of it? You know, we are two grimy blokes that live in a van, remember, lest we forget this fact. Clean clothes are overrated. Anyway, today we are off to the lavish land of Primrose Hill, darling. Full of opulence and expensiveness and £10 million houses and names, celebrities galore, or at least once upon a time, most definitely. If you remember, sort of in the late 90s, early 2000s, it became a bit famous for being known for the Primrose Hill set, which is kind of like a group of celebrities that all seem to live there at the same time. So you had people like Jude Law, Sadie Frost, the Gallagher brothers, Kate Moss. There was a bunch of them and it was all a big media thing at the time. But I still believe you can still see celebrities there every now and again. So I wonder if we'll spot any. I mean, I wonder if anyone will spot me. We've got nearly 5,000 subscribers, you know. Well, I better put my shades on just in case. Oh, I'm going to fit right in here. Let's go. Out the way, everyone. Small YouTube channel coming through. No autographs today, please. Oh, go on then. No, please ask. I don't mind really. Oh, all right then, just subscribe. So that wasn't too bad. This was a bit like when I got the tube from Croxley and I went to Hampstead in the end. So this was exactly the same. I got the tube to Finchley Road and now it's like a half-hour walk to Primrose Hill. I think you can get a tube. I could have changed, but this just felt like the least traumatic. I quite like the walk in between rather than actually changing on all the tubes as you go. And half an hour's fine, although it is down a very busy road. So not the most appealing walk. But anyway, let's get to Primrose Hill and explore an entirely different world. So this makes me laugh. There's all these kind of like townhouses along here. I think some of them are flats, but in between you've got this tiny little thing wedged there, like a little mini house or maisonette or something. I wonder how much that's worth. I sort of feel like in any other town you'd be like, no, I'm not paying for that. But here, it's still probably like £1 million or something. Small change, small change. Anyway, I am absolutely starving. I had my breakfast ages ago, like 6 in the morning. So I feel like I need something like coffee and a croissant or something equally sophisticated. I mean, that's not really sophisticated, is it? But it feels like it. I can pretend it is. Oh my god, this place is absolutely gorgeous. I've only been here for 5 minutes, but I can't wait to get stuck in and exploring down the little streets. I just went down the little main, I don't even know what you call it, but there's an area of little shops and bars and cafes and things like that, and everything was so appealing. And I just noticed this bagel shop. I'm sure I saw about it online actually. It rings a bell. But there was quite a lot of people ordering from there and loads of people waiting outside. So I thought that's got to be the one. So I've treated myself to a bagel from It's Bagels, I think it's called. Steve will be absolutely furious at what I've just paid. I think it was £10 for my one, plus the coffee, so it's £14 altogether. But that will do me for most of the day. So let's have a look. Let's do the unwrapping. It's quite big actually. I'm probably going to have to put this down to open it. So I can't even remember what it was called. I think it was like the salt beef special or something like that. So it's got beef in it, obviously. And it's got mustard and mayo. I think it might have pickles in. A bit like a New Yorker with the pastrami, but just a little bit different. It's got the cheese. Oh my god, this looks really good. Cut in half, handily. I haven't had a bagel for absolutely ages. Oh, look at that. So it's got some onions in. Oh my god, that looks so good. And when you order, they say, what bagel do you want? Obviously I had no clue, but there was about 10 different types it seemed, and he recommended the sesame one. So let's get stuck in. Right, let's give it a go. I'm eating the wrong hand now. I'm gonna have to swap over. I'm left-handed, except I do a lot of things with my right hand. It's very strange. Give me a moment. There we are. That is every bit as indulgent as you would expect. As well you should for a tenner, you know. So good. I think Steve would enjoy this, but he probably wouldn't pay for it. But don't worry, Steve, I'm in charge of the purse today. It'll be all right. Right now we're in a park. It's on Primrose Hill itself. Clues in the name. We'll show you that later. We're going to end here, hopefully. So I'm going to finish this, and then we're going to go and look around a lavish and luxurious area and wonder what it would be like to live here. Wonder what it would be like to just have a spare few million and live in this little area of London. And just to give you a bit of an idea, there's an estate agents here. So what have we got? This one is 8 million. This one is 10. Oh, this one's only 5.5. That one's only 1.5. Oh my God, it's just so exquisite here. I absolutely love it. I feel like I should hate it. I feel like Stephen would hate it, but I absolutely love it. I feel like I want to live here now. Can somebody just give me like 20 million? 10 million for the house and 10 million to live off. That's fair, isn't it? Anyway, in the little street there with all the shops, there's even a charity shop. There was actually one in Hampstead when I did the video there, but I forgot to film it. And it's a shelter shop, and it's like a boutique style shop. So they've got lots of designer sort of stuff. Obviously a lot more expensive than your regular charity shops. But what I found a bit odd was even among the racks, they still got like H&M and Primark stuff. I wouldn't have thought they would have needed to do that here, but maybe it doesn't matter, I don't know. And I think the Primark stuff was actually more expensive than the original price. But it's a boutique, you know? Anyway, lovely charity shops and really nice labels in there. I love going in those ones in these sort of areas. Oh my God, this square, the houses in this square are just absolutely, it's like your jaw is dropping everywhere you look. The colours, just magical and a tad pricey. The funny thing is, seeing this square, there's actually a couple of these squares in Ramsgate where we go back to. They're in probably quite a few towns. And yeah, it's a pricey area of that part of town, of Ramsgate, but obviously it won't be a patch on this. But that was my first thought. It reminded me of the squares in Ramsgate and the houses you've got there. And it just shows like these sort of buildings, they're kind of all around the UK really, but just depending on where it is, like here, they're clearly just well looked after because obviously there's the money invested in them. Oh my God though, what a square to live in. Imagine just waking up to this every day. Mind you, do you get the feeling everybody knows everyone else's business? There is that side. So this is the square, I think it's Chalcot Square, I don't know how you pronounce that. Obviously I have to be a bit mindful because I'm still like filming people's houses, so I don't want to seem like I'm lingering too much. But you just can't help it, this is just otherworldly. Just imagine it. And the colours, they kind of all match. I imagine you have to get that approved before you decide to paint your house or something, because it's probably got to fit in with the rest of the street. Oh. Right, we're moving here, Stephen. Oh, there we go, van life in Primrose Hill. There's a cheap way of doing it. See, we could live here, we just park our van, Steve. I've just spotted a bit of dog's mess on the pavement. Even in Primrose Hill. Not so posh now, are ya? Hey? So at the moment, this actually might be the most famous and well-known street in the area. This is Chalcot Crescent, and you might recognise this road if you're a fan of a certain little bear. So Paddington Bear, the films, they were actually filmed, this was his house when he came to England. This was the house they used. I think it was the blue one. But unfortunately, it's got all that scaffolding up at the moment. I mean, honestly, are they not thinking about people in their Instagram pictures? That's probably why it's there, just to put people off. The other thing about these streets, they always remind me, like, you know when you see kind of like Hollywood films featuring London and England in general, and they always have families, like rom-coms and stuff like that. They always have families living in these kind of big grand houses as if it's some kind of normal everyday thing. So yeah, we all live in these giant colourful houses apparently, according to Hollywood. No such thing as a council estate in those films. Nonetheless, like, you can't help but be in absolute awe walking around here. Oh my God, just to have one of these. Although, given the cost, I still can't get over the fact you've got neighbours directly either side. It's nice to dream though. Before I get back to our tiny van, where Stephen is sleeping in our lounge, kitchen and bedroom, all rolled into one. But that's efficiency. And can you take one of these homes up to the Outer Hebrides on wheels? No, you can't. This doesn't top Daisy. Not saying we wouldn't swap, like, but she's a little bit better. She's unique. She takes us over the world. This is just London. Get bored after a week. You'd think that filming these houses would get really boring, and I'm really sorry if it's become boring to look at, but I'm not bored of it yet, because every street is slightly different. There's always slightly different setups to the structure, to the design, to the colours. It always feels fresh every time you turn a corner. And yet this whole area, it ends so abruptly. When you get to the edge, it suddenly feels like you've stepped into a completely different part of London. It feels very kind of secluded in its own spot, if that makes sense. Right, I've changed my mind. I don't mind big cities. How can we move here, Steve? How can we do it? Actually, that's a lie. I'd take living in the countryside over this any day. But you wouldn't say no to it, would you? That's the thing. I mean, come on. So we're going to end this little trip to Primrose Hill, kind of almost where we started with the bagel. And you might be wondering, where's the hill part? Why is it called Primrose Hill? Well, there is actually a hill, and that's where we're about to go up to now. Obviously it's not very big, but then London is mostly flat, so you don't need to go that high before you get some kind of view, and this is one of them. So Primrose Hill, I think the top of it is about 63 metres above sea level, and it gives you some fairly decent views over London. I don't know, we're going to have a look in a minute. There's a hell of a lot of people up there by the looks of it, so I'm probably not going to talk up there, hence doing it here. And yeah, it gives you some good views over London, and I think they deliberately keep the trees short or away from the area where the views are going to be, and it's a protected area as well, so I don't think it's ever going to be built upon. You might be wondering why I've got this cupcake. I thought that'd be a nice way to end the little trip here. So round the corner there is a bakery called Primrose Hill Bakery. It's quite well known. I'm pretty sure I've heard of it before. I'm sure it's got cookbooks that I've seen about. I was hoping to find some kind of like little French style bakery, a bit like we found in Hampstead, but I didn't see anything like that. And as it got later in the day, I just fancied something, saw this, remembered the name and thought, why not? And it was £3.95, which is quite a lot for a little cupcake. So this is a mocha one, so coffee. So we'll see, does it deserve the fame that this place has? I mean, it's a cupcake, let's just find out. I can't imagine it's going to be much different to any regular cupcake. But I needed a sugar boost. I've been moving around a lot. So we're going to head to the top of the hill, I'm going to eat my cake, and then we're probably going to move on. Well, actually, I couldn't wait. I'm eating it on the way up. I mean, it's all right. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's a cupcake. It tastes absolutely fine. Not amazing, not unique. I'm not sure you can ever make cupcakes unique or particularly outstanding, but it's okay. I wouldn't pay £3.95 for it again. All I can think right now is Steve would be absolutely fuming at this. He'd still eat it though. So this is the top, almost. There's quite a few people up there. I'm actually approaching from a different angle now because I needed a bin just now. Probably not going to talk at the top because I'm a little bit shy like that, and it might just be annoying. So we'll just show you the views when we get there in total silence, something I'm really good at. Well, wasn't that nice? Lovely view over the London skyline. So now I'm just going to walk somewhere. I'm going to walk along the canal, actually back to Camden, and I'm going to go somewhere so I can charge my phone up, because I know there's somewhere I can do that. And then we're going to carry on or sort of wind our way down towards the end of the day. But I do need to charge my phone up. I feel like I look really tired in this video, and if I do, that's because I actually am. I feel like I really need to catch up on some sleep, but I really don't mind doing this. I wanted to come out. I'm really enjoying these little trips into London, so I'm pushing on. Sleep is overrated. There's not enough time for it. And just before we leave the area, I must show you this rather fabulous looking Chinese restaurant here that kind of sits on the canal. Really elaborate building that. I think it's been here for a good number of years now. Whether it's any better than any other kind of Chinese restaurant, I don't know, but it's the building that's a draw, isn't it? That's why you go there. Well, there we go. That was a day spent in Primrose Hill. I really enjoyed that. It was a bit like sort of living a little fantasy life for a few hours. Very nice, well worth seeing. Not too touristy actually either, but one must return to the normal world. So I'm going to get the tube back now, head back to Finchley Station, get the tube back to Watford, and get ready for my next shift at work, which is nearly done, thank God. So we see you the other side. God, that always sounds sinister, doesn't it? Look, we'll see you at the next station. Oh my God, this has almost turned into a bit of a disaster. There were no stops because of a signal failure up to Watford, and that includes Croxley, so I've had to get off a couple of stops earlier, and I don't know where the hell I am, but I know it's a hell of a lot longer to walk back, but I should, fingers crossed, still get back in time to start my shift. Whilst walking past some nice houses, I mean, look at that, bloody hell. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the little trip around Primrose Hill today. One last little reflection, one quick reflection. Neither Stephen nor I are big city people. It's not something we like visiting every now and again, but they're not places we'd ever want to settle. But you know what? These last few times I've visited London, I've really enjoyed going round, and I can see why it's so appealing to people, and it's got me wondering what that might have been like. And I can see why it draws people and why people want to start a life there. All those opportunities, all those things to do. The chance of meeting somebody, people, many people maybe, who are on your wavelength, being far greater than probably anywhere else in the UK. And I kind of got myself thinking, like, imagining, almost fantasizing really, about being a young man again, and if I wasn't a big ball of anxious nerves a young boy kind of struggling with his mental health. If I wasn't that, and instead somebody who had more confidence and bravado, one kind of wanting to delve into this whole new world of possibilities. And I never had the opportunity to do that when I was younger, and I'm sure lots of people didn't, and I very much doubt I would have been brave enough to take the opportunity, even if I did. But you can't help wondering what that different path might have been. Now, whether you're big city people or not, and me and Stephen definitely aren't, I can only imagine going to a place like that and trying to start a life and seeing all those possibilities. It can only be a good thing for your character, right? Even if it doesn't work out. And I really applaud anyone who got the chance to do it and took it, or anyone who still is going to try that. Obviously it's a lot harder to do that in London now with the cost of everything, but people still do it. But of course, regret and a sense of longing isn't healthy for anyone. Anyway, no regrets, because that's just daft. But sometimes you just can't help but wonder, you know? And although things didn't go to plan earlier in my life, but join the club, right? You know, everybody's got that to some degree. Although I've never really talked about this, but that's another story. I'm nonetheless happy with where we are now and what we've done. You know, I'm so happy that me and Stephen have done this together. But yeah, just food for thought, just like imagining what life would have been like trying to make something for yourself in a big city like London. Probably would have hated it and given up after a week. As you can see, all the blackberries are well and truly in season now. I don't know if they're a bit early or not. They seem like they're kind of early. We're still in July. But my God, wild blackberries are so good. Amazing fruit and totally free. Well, with that, I think we're going to end the video this week. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Press the subscribe button if you haven't already. That would be brilliant. No, wait, I'm doing that in the wrong order. Start again. So please push the like button, the thumbs up button. That would be brilliant if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to, you don't have to, of course, by pressing the subscribe button, and press the notification bell if you want to be notified anytime a new video's out. Other than that, thank you for watching. Also leave us any comments. We love to read your comments. And we will see you next time, wherever that may be, because we will be out of work. Although we kind of do know where that's going to be, but more on that next time. So, thank you. We'll see you on the next video, and Stephen will be back. See you next time. Bye.